just because your MP is not conservative, write to your MP, right?
But these guys just want to make all the money, have cheap labor come here and do everything.
Oh, come to Europe for like 3 months, work your ass off, and go back home, bro. You gotta be more smarter than that. Like, it's like you guys kind of shot yourself in the foot with a lot of things, and then you guys blamed half of Canada for voting against you.
Jagmeet got dominated. I think Jagmeet did not have a good campaign strategy. I like some of their policies, bro. Hey, if you're watching this and you're racist, vote for that guy.
Yeah.
Vote for that guy.
So all the racist people that leaving comments on the post, Pierre could thank you guys.
What do you say to people that say, "Hey, well, you can vote for the conservatives. Why would you think every conservative is racist?"
Yeah, can we just say this? Us three sitting here in 2025 have the same amount of wins in our riding that Pierre Poilievre does. That's fucking sad, bro.
If you are leader of a party and your riding has changed, if I'm going to trust you with my government, I need to trust you at the very least with some strategic thinking about your own fucking riding.
But even looking at the ballot, like me and you looked at it, I didn't even know his name, and I still found him, and I found Pierre Poilievre. They're almost at this level on the ballot. They're right beside each other almost.
Can you imagine Pierre Poilievre sitting in the White House? Pierre Poilievre was a career politician. Mark Carney's resume was quite damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like him at first. You guys are fucking it up for your own party. That's my thought. I don't really agree. I don't really understand what you're saying though.
I'm saying essentially it's like,
Explain to me Punjabi.
okay, so you know how the conservatives and everything. Before we get started, I know you guys read the title of the podcast. It's going to be based on the politics of kind of what happened in Canada after the election and how Liberals won and how everything went there and how our mindset kind of changed from the start of the year to kind of towards election time. We want to start off by acknowledging what happened at the Lapu Lapu Festival in Vancouver. Lots of lives were lost. Innocent people just there to enjoy a festival due to one person's mental state caused so much pain and suffering for a lot of people. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected. And I just didn't like how everything started unfolding after, with how people started to make it very politicized and started getting into hate crime stuff when it was just the root cause of just mental health and one person's choice that they made that day. But that should be like the least of anyone's worries. The biggest worry should be about everyone getting healthy and safe. And we will be posting the GoFundMe for all the verified GoFundMes, because I know there's a couple out there that were turned out to be scams, which is insane that happens nowadays. But we will be posting something for the actual verified links for all the GoFundMe. So if you guys have a couple extra dollars, for sure try donating. Or if you do, maybe drop off some flowers on site at 43rd and Fraser Street. Yeah, just a horrific tragedy that, honestly, me and Roger were together that day when it happened, and I saw the videos, and I honestly took me like probably a few minutes to process what was going on, because to me it didn't look like it was here. It looked like it was somewhere in Asia. I'm like, this doesn't look like it's here, until I saw like above saying VPD breaking news, and I'm like, no way. And it's like right by like kind of where we grew up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that obviously affected me more. I'm just like, holy shit, like I know people that live right there as well, and how scary it was. Instantly I start texting everyone, hey, are you there? Are you good? Are you good? Hey, is everyone safe? And I'm happy to say that everyone that I know was safe, but I know a lot of other people weren't fortunate enough in that situation. So thoughts and prayers again go out to everyone affected.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, you went to jail. I went to jail for a bit.
Churchill.
So you went to Churchill?
Yeah, but I grew up around that area.
Yeah,
though.
but I went to Khalsa School as well too, which was across the street.
Yeah.
Right there. So you know that area like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like this you expect to happen in the States.
Yeah.
Every time I've watched CNN, any breaking news like this, it was always in the States somewhere. Some guy who's just disgruntled and just lost his marbles. But this seems like, I don't know, it might be premature to say, but let due process unfold.
Yeah.
But I would say it's mental health.
Yeah.
I just don't know for sure. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's just sad in every sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know obviously, but it does look like it's mental health, and I think there will be some new policies put in place just with regards to festivals. I know there's a lot of people saying that the city of Vancouver failed the event, but the event these kind of things just have never happened. So yes, you put barricades and stuff like that when it's a busy road, and you were saying this isn't even on a busy road, but I hope that in the future now, like the next food truck festival or something that I go to, this is going to be on my mind probably for many more to come. Not out of just fear, but just you're just aware, you know. So sad for everyone that has been affected by it. My thoughts are with them as well, and just that boy that lost his whole family. You know that he was 16 years old. He stayed home to do homework, and his dad, mom, and his younger sister all went. And none of them made it. His dad was really big on the religious part of it and saying there's a really specific
for the culture. Yeah, it's
for
a
the
really
culture.
big thing.
He said, hey, you know, we should go, and really was excited to bring his family there, and never could have imagined. And then that son that's 16 years old that survived his whole family, his GoFundMe raised upward of $500,000, and then he actually donated half of it back to other victims' families.
Very
What a
mature
commendable
thing
thing
to
to do.
Yeah,
16-year-old
16.
boy. I can't even imagine. I don't know if I'd even be thinking straight about anything like this. He not only did that, he made a video and was like, hey, I'm donating this much. It's just wow. And also just, this was a Filipino event. We here in our podcast talk about Punjabi culture and different things like that. But I have Filipino friends, and the Filipino community, my mom has Filipino friends. Filipino community is such a positive and beautiful community in itself. And no community deserves this, but man, the Filipino people, they're just, generally speaking, when you
Salt
meet
to the earth
someone, they're
people.
just very, very down to earth and kind. For the most part, they're just, and I think there's a stat, I don't believe the stat, but they say the stat is that they're like 60% of caregivers are Filipino or something. I don't know if that's true, but I do know that there's a lot of caregivers that I've seen that are Filipino. So, yeah, just a sad day. And yeah, a day that will not be forgotten for a very long time. I'm fucking tired of talking about death, bro. We just
Yeah,
fucking
man.
did this fucking podcast with Dr. Masuda. Then we, this happens. And then I have to, Tamira stuff's going on right now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
But
a sad topic.
But death is something it's real,
Inevitable.
right? No one wants to talk about it because it's, something that people shy away from, but it's a reality.
Anyways, today we want to talk about the state of Canada once again. Now, we are not a political podcast, and we don't claim to be. We do not claim to be, with some sort of agenda to try and convince you that one side is better than the other. We are just here to talk about our perspective and our opinions. Though those opinions have changed over the last 3-4 months for some of us, and will continue to change. But in this moment, we have officially a new prime minister. Before, many would say Mark Carney is not our prime minister. He's a puppet, or he's just propped up. And well, now he legitimately, with his name on the ballot, with his name as the party leader, officially won the election. So how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I think if you asked me 3-4 months ago, like, hey, who's gonna win the election?
We did.
Never,
Yeah, we did. And I was the only guy that said maybe
Yeah.
they have a chance. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
But you know what? Look what happens when when the driver changes,
Changes, yeah.
everything changes, the direction changes, right? So I think that there's a lot of hostility towards Trudeau and the direction he was going. But I think it's not just, Carney coming in and everyone's like, okay, we're gonna be liberal now. From what I see, people I spoke to as well too, and what you see online as well too, is that people were seeing all these posts on social media, and nowadays everyone looks at the comments and seeing, hey, what are people saying? And any time that there was an immigrant involved, something like that
Or
involved,
Vasaki.
or Vasaki, everyone, a lot of the comments are racist comments. So now a person who's neutral or on the fence or might have been conservative before, and they're a person of color, they're thinking, man, this isn't what we stand for. And when you look at all the comments and everything, and you look, man, this party sounds racist. It's not the party that's racist, but the supporters, there is a percentage of them that are racist. You don't see these same comments coming from, other party supporters. It's always conservative, right wing. And I think, they're sort of if the conservatives are doing like a postpartum, I think they should look at, hey, listen, you know what? Maybe don't let people put any hate speech on there, because the comments that support the conservative party were always majority racist.
Look,
Deport, send them back. This isn't their country.
Bet
know.
it smells like shit there.
Yeah, it smells like this there. It's like, it's ridiculous.
is this India? It doesn't
Yeah.
look like Canada to me. This isn't the Canada I remember.
So, end of the day, win or lose, whoever you supported, end of the day, we're all Canadians. We want the best for this country. So I think we need to keep that in mind. And whoever wins or whoever won, doesn't matter which side you're on, accept it, support the party that's in power. And, if there's some issues you have, write a letter to your MP and, do some more outreach out there to get policies changed in your favor that you support.
Look, I have been a extreme leftist I was very much extreme leftist for a long time. And I still watch and I've still subscribed to some of the mediums that I used to follow back then on the left wing. Specifically, there's a guy named Kyle Kulinski. He goes by Secular Talk, but I like listening to his opinions, even though I don't agree with all of them at all anymore. And I also will sit down and watch, Joe Rogan or whatever else on the right side. I didn't say it in the previous podcast, but I was going to vote conservative this time because, you know what? As someone that I said in the last podcast, I said, hey, when there's no food on the table, what do you care about? What you do care about is your economy being stronger, you having jobs, but not only that, if you want to think bigger than that, your kids, one day when I do have kids, having opportunity for them and, things like this. If you just spend all your time online, which the truth is a lot of people do nowadays, they go to work, which might be isolated, or the people at their work are there might be a certain type of way, but you might not communicate with them. You come home, you look at your phone, you open up Instagram, you open up Facebook, TikTok, X, whatever. You're going to see radical stuff. Always. It's things don't go viral when they're not radical, right? Anything important is boring generally. But if it can get clicks and anger and comments, that's what blows up. If you spend all your time online, you will probably be in an echo chamber of whatever it is that you're believing in. And I call it rage bait, where you literally, it's called rage bait, really.
Yeah.
It's literally just like stuff like a post that says, all Indians are causing this, they're all terrorists, and something like that.
Or like
Something
an out
that's-
of context clip. It's like it takes a clip that's like zero context to it. They're like, this is exactly what I thought these people were. And it's like you didn't even see like the 10 minutes before.
Yeah. So it's just like, but then you watch it, you get pissed off, you're raging, and you're like, oh my God, this guy's saying this. And it could be about pipelines, it could be about race, it could be about gender, it could be about housing, it could be about immigration. It doesn't matter, but it's like this extreme thing. You start getting pissed off, and then you start to think, okay, this like comment represents everyone on the other side. Fuck those people. I like my people. And that might be conservative or might be whatever. If you go and talk to real people, I didn't go around talking to real people with the purpose recently to find to make a political election decision. However, I didn't shy away from going, hey, the election's going on. And, some people get uncomfortable. They'll be like, oh, yeah. Anyways, yeah, did you see the Canucks? Or, they don't want to talk about politics. I'm like, okay, this person does not want to talk about it. And I'll still probe. Sometimes people will say, yeah, I'm comfortable talking about politics.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to know? And neighbors, acquaintances, podcast guests, people around me, friends. I went to a wedding recently, talked to a bunch of other people. Having real conversations with real people, hearing their perspective really made me change my thoughts on this election. And at first I was like, this Carney guy, he's just that goody two shoes that you described last podcast. We talked about politics. You picked that squeaky clean record, put him there. I was like, this guy's just like, just put up there really quickly, and he's nothing. But then you really start looking at a number of things from and I talked to different people with different perspectives, and it all came down to, I don't think I can align with the conservative values. The people that are talking about voting liberal, the reasons why they're voting liberal, I agree with them on pretty much every issue. And to be clear, I'm not saying every liberal policy I agree with. I agree with actually some NDP policies too.
Mhm.
And I don't think I agree with the only party that I probably don't agree with at all is probably the Bloc Party because I don't have anything I can
You're
relate
not
with,
from Quebec.
or the People's Party, People's Choice Party, whatever, right? I think we talked about that, right? Last time we said, hey, you could put all our values together, they're going to land on different political parties.
Yeah.
I talked to people of white people, older, younger, uppity people, Punjabi people. A lot of people made some very good points about how a new conservative government would open the door for the radical right to think it's okay to bring back racism, you know, the gender stuff, abortion stuff, you name it. That door that's been actually pretty well closed now and boarded up, it could be reopened. And then you look at the comments. Then you look at those Facebook. Then I'm like, oh, you know, I'm thinking all these things. Then you see a post of Pierre Poilievre at Vasaki, and every comment. No, I couldn't find one comment that was like good.
Like oh hey, this is a great like cause.
I
or
couldn't
great, like,
find
thing.
one. I scrolled
Yeah.
down. How do you vote for this if you're me? I'm sorry. What am I supposed to do here? I can't support this. This is the crowd I'm identifying with. And keep in mind, liberals move their policies right anyways, which they, like you said before too, we moved very far left.
They came out of the pond.
Well, they almost, Mark Carney is not willing to go back on the pond. He
Yeah.
won't allow the bus.
Or doesn't want to work in the pond either.
Anyways, the racism comments, like, it's just crazy. Now that the conservatives have lost, you have people that are conservative voters that are going and saying, we don't know how this happened. It must be rigged. It must be this.
Yeah.
Some people are going as far as say, I don't know a single person that voted conservative. Maybe in their community, in their network, that might be true.
But it goes back to the point you were making earlier. It's like get out of your echo chamber and go into that real world. You know, like I get it. Like a lot of people do get like, wait, in like January it was like a 99% chance to win, and now it's like you just lost. But it's like through this time, what the liberals did was everything that the conservatives said they hated and they were going after, they changed all of it. And then that's the number one thing Carney even said in his debate. He's like, you talked about the carbon tax, you talked about Trudeau, they're gone now. It's just me. Now what do you have to say? And I feel like the conservatives just didn't pivot enough in that moment. Like they did have good policies, but the thing is, liberals' policies are almost identical. It's a very thin margin for many of the policies they have, but it's very similar. So anyone on either side saying that side's bad, this side's bad, you guys are a lot more similar than you think you are. For me, I was already off. Like I was gonna probably be conservative as well, but I was off this boat way earlier because I saw this stuff from like months prior, and I'm like, every day it seems like this side is just getting more and more radical and extreme and just hating too much. And I'm like, if you look at the other side, yeah, they hate too as well. But I'm not saying either side just hates more than the other. But when you're literally saying a whole population of people should be deported, regardless of if they're Canadian or if they're not, then you're kind of just turning into your worst enemy and you are screwing it up for your own party because you're literally saying to a group of voters, hey, we don't like you guys. We don't accept you guys. Even if you vote for us, we want you out of here. So how do you think we're going to come out here and vote for you guys? Right? It makes no sense.
I think it was just, it turned into fear-based politics, right? You know, they made it look like there were so many, this crime's up, gun crime's up, you know, these repeat offenders, all that stuff. Fair enough. But I think they had really no substance behind it. I think they were just slogans that they kept on recycling. Even axe attacks, like, you know, how big of a thing was that? Axe attacks.
Carbon tax Carney.
Yeah, carbon tax Carney. Axe attacks, you know, Pierre pretty much almost got his own job axed instead, you know. But to be fair, at least the tax did get axed, right? Gas is cheaper now.
For now.
Which is great. But people always, even there's a fear about that. People are like, oh my God, you know, once liberals get in, they're going to bring that tax back. I don't think that's going to happen. That'd be like the biggest scam ever. Like we take the tax, remove the tax, and then you bring it back. Like
The conservatives are still going to tax us too. Let's be clear. There's still
100%.
going to be a different way that you're going to make money.
Government needs money.
Pierre Poilievre still wants his salary,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he gets a pension. He was an MP for 20 years or so. You know.
He still will be.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though. here's what I was going to say. If you identify with the racism, hey, free speech. Hate speech is not okay, but free speech in a sense, you're racist. You want to be okay. If you want to openly be racist to Indian people, hey, I'll give you at least one piece of credit. At least you're honest about who you are. You're not trying to hide behind something. Most of these people are hiding though. Vote for the party that represents your values. Conservatives are no longer that. You've gone to the People's Choice Party. Vote for the People's Choice Party. Go leave your comments on
I think People's Party of Canada.
yeah,
right?
People's
Yeah.
Party of Canada. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So PPC.
Yeah.
PPC. Go vote for the PPC. Go leave your comments on Maxime Bernier's post. Go do your thing, and then let's see what happens. Guess what? You can't because you will never win. You won't win in Canada. You can win with that hate in the United States. And the United States and Canada are very different countries. And we forgot about who we are in this mess now because some people are saying, "Oh, Canada's becoming India. Canada's becoming China." No, Canada's becoming the United damn States. Actually, that's what we're becoming. We're not we're definitely not Canadian anymore. And I think if you're gonna be on the deport train and this and that, vote for the party that represents your values. Those are not the Conservatives. I don't care. Don't do a strategic vote. Vote for your freaking party that you believe in. And you know what? If that happened, what do you think the results would have been? It would have been obviously a liberal majority to the max. Or even if let's just say that the votes were the exact same for liberals, Conservatives would have lost how much? Do you think half the people are that racist? I don't think so. Maybe 25% of them are that racist. I don't know. But vote for the party that you freaking align with. It's not the Conservative fucking party. You guys are fucking it up for your own party. That's my thought. That's my
I
thought.
really hope we don't turn into the States because it's so divided, and we're slowly turning into that where it's like in the States, where you vote is your identity. Like if I say I'm a Democrat or Republican, you're this type of person A to Z. I already know who you are. I prejudge you, and we're slowly kind of going into that, and we shouldn't because we've never ever been like that. We're multicultural, we're accepting of everyone, and I think we're just slowly molding into a version of the States in some areas of Canada, and like, I mean, look at Alberta. They want out, right? Like, it's like just
we'll
like
talk
how
about that in a
just like
second.
how Quebec wants out, like for the longest time. But it's just, I don't know. I think this division is getting really bad, and it's honestly just gonna end up worse for everyone in the long run.
Favorite meme of the election is Pierre making that pizza.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
I didn't see that one.
That's the other reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Who got us into this mess? We'll agree the country is not doing well. That's pretty much an agreement upon majority of Canadians over the last decade. And although we've said it before, I don't think Justin Trudeau is this evil man that had a plan to just benefit himself and not the country. He has done a lot of great things as well.
I think he really was
specifically
focused on the labor
cannabis
shortage.
legalization as well.
Yeah, like the labor shortage he was really focused on, and the fact that our or is it not fertility, but it's like kind of like the next wave of people, our population was going
Yes,
down. So
yeah.
his reason for immigration was that it got out of control, but I don't think he could have predicted that, and neither anyone could have predicted that, and I don't think anyone has, right? So I mean, when it did, then he realized I made a mistake and he capped it, right?
I think because people are not reproducing like they were before.
Yeah.
People having one kid. A lot of people aren't having kids at all.
Yeah,
So the population is sort of is dying out on us, but there's
Exactly.
nothing to sort of replace them. You need immigration. But immigration, what the thing is, you can't just get people coming straight from a village who do not align with any of your etiquettes, values, or anything else, and they come over here, they don't know how to even behave. It's almost like taking people from the jungle and taking people from the jungle and say, let loose here in Canada. And then you're pissed off why they're, pissing and shitting in beaches, right?
Okay, what I want to say about this though is the reason we got in this mess, Justin Trudeau lacked experience. He was not ready for this. He was just not ready for it. The timing wasn't right. And, you have to, you get put in a situation where life gives you lemons. Of course you're going to squeeze, and he won and he did great. If in the elections, Pierre Poilievre was a career politician. Mark Carney's resume was quite damn good. And I didn't like him at first, but very quickly I like looking at his record, not his record, but his experience. I don't love the whole all of a sudden being super close with the EU, but guess what? if Trump is going to be kicking us and giving us noogies as the bigger
Yeah, yeah.
brother, you know what? We need the EU on our side. And guess what? Mark Carney's got those connections. He's well respected. It gives him negotiating power. We're seeing some of that in effect right now with the Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, is it?
Yeah.
Changed her tune from like separation, major pushing that, and then like toned it down for a second for now. Politically strategic on her part, but also Carney must have said the right things. And this recent Trump meeting. Can you imagine Pierre Poilievre sitting in the White House like that? I don't know. I just want to like somebody make an AI video and show us what that would look like. Because I don't know. I feel like it would be, I think Carney did a good job in that meeting. What do you think?
You know what? I watched one post before with Carney, and I was like, it was cringeworthy because when he spoke, he's talking about a house. Remember, he's saying that, you know what? I was like, you guys, I wanted to buy a house.
You're like, shut up.
But he sounded so dorky, and it just like seemed like he was socially awkward.
Carney, you're talking
Carney.
about? Okay.
But when you seen him give the speech after he won that night on election night, I was like, wow, this guy has a good sense of humor. Someone's phone went off, and he's talking midway. He's like, hey, your phone's ringing, right? And then everyone started laughing. Then he's like, you never know. It might be important, right? Just he was so cool and nonchalant about it. It was amusing.
He's loosening up.
Yeah.
I like him. He's a good. He
Yeah.
shows like.
And then
he shows good leadership.
and
I
then
think.
he was dancing, singing along to a song too. After that, he might have had a few drinks, but man, this guy was vibing on a different level.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think the
at least he
difference
wasn't
is-
trying to do Pungra, I guess, right? He kept it
Oh,
his
God.
kind of music.
Yeah,
I think that the big difference is that, yeah, he's been in politics, but he's not a career politician. That's why a lot of his stuff comes off genuine and not like scripted and like kind of like looking like you're saying the perfect things just at the right time. Pierre obviously has been in government his whole life, right? So he kind of comes off very like in a different tone. Like when like Carney's talking, even like recently in all these interviews, it just sounds like he's having a general conversation, just answering generally, not like reading off a script or anything. It seems more genuine, and that's what I kind of liked about him more.
yeah.
And he sounds like a proper leader. He, like you said, he jokes, he laughs around. He's not always so serious and stern, right? Yeah, I liked those kind of aspects about him. Like, you know, early on he wasn't the best, like you said, but he's definitely gotten better. Even at the debate, I was surprised. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see how good of a public speaker he is, and he actually was pretty good at the debate, I will say.
It's not always about how good of a communicator you are, although that's one of the biggest ways I judge you. And Mark Carney's communication, Pierre Poilievre's a better speaker. He's just a good speaker. He had his lines. He knew how to say it. He knew which words to emphasize. He knew how to make sure that he hit your heartstrings, right? Carney wasn't the best at that, but his record and everything else was really good. But I will say, the other thing that's really important is that influence that you have with your connections, your network, your credibility. And I think right now, I know right now, there's actually a lot of people saying, Carney, hey, Liberal voters, how do you feel about your elbows up now? And by the way, the elbows up thing, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, that was.
I'm not
that was-
identifying with
I
that.
still don't understand
What's
it.
elbows up?
I still don't understand.
No,
it.
that's
I don't
that's
get
the
it.
Liberals like against the U.S. Elbows up, elbows up, elbows up.
I don't
elbows.
understand
They
it. I
act-
don't
It's like a
understand it.
chicken wing, bro. It's
I don't
weird, bro.
understand
No. Okay, I don't identify with that. I'm not backing you up on that one, guys. However, elbows up is like a hockey play, like you know your
Yeah, but it's a penalty.
but it's like an illegal play. anyways, I mean, I guess what they're saying is that U.S. is playing dirty, so we're playing dirty. I guess.
we're not gonna like step down. I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
like
we're
we'll play
gonna
dirty too.
Be gritty.
But there's like this video of like these.
Oh yeah, the lineup of people.
There's a lineup of
Oh
like
god.
they just. I don't want to be
Okay,
mean, but they just
Who are
look-
these people out there who are this cultist about any
Elbows
politics?
up.
Like either any like leader, left, right, NDP, whatever. They're so like, oh, like I'm gonna say exactly how they are. I'm gonna be that. I'm
Elbows
gonna be
up.
the biggest fan ever. I can't even be that crazy of a fan for sports teams, and I'm the
Yeah,
diehard Canucks
sports
fan.
fans, yeah.
Like they're worse than sports fans. They're so cringe.
No, so the what I was gonna say is they're saying, oh, what happened to Mark Carney that said Canada and the United States relationship is over. It's no longer gonna be what it used to be. Oh, how do you feel now, Liberal voters? He said that, but now he's hanging out with Trump and he's being so nice to him. Well, what do you expect? Do you think he's gonna go and be like, hey,
Sucker punch
hey,
him?
yeah, like
Yeah,
no,
legit.
sit down in his office and go, how is that gonna go? Like you're gonna get
You've
roasted,
seen how
bro.
it went. Hello, Ukraine. The
Yeah.
only one guy to give he wasn't even pushing back that hard.
He didn't
But
really push back.
any kind of like talking back to the guy, that instantly they were at him. They were like at
Oh.
his throat.
They had like 5v1. It was a 20v1.
Yeah, it was a 20v1. He was Drake.
It was just no, but like, you know, what do you expect him to do? If we're trying to make a deal here, we're trying to move like and progress. You can like Trump, you can not like Trump. It's business now.
And people did take it out of context. The number one thing he did say in that sentence was, "Our relationship with the U.S. will never be the same again." Doesn't mean
I don't agree with that though. I
No,
think
but-
after
but-
4 years,
but-
it can be back to normal.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's saying, I think he meant in this context right now with what's happening, it won't be the same because obviously before they worked together with all this stuff, but with all the tariffs and everything, it will be different, right? Like they're not going to be like, probably like some trades are probably not going to be going through, some stuff's probably not going to be going over because Trump wants to do everything in America, right? So yeah, like it will be different. It will be a different relationship. That is true.
Yeah, I don't think it's changed forever, but
Not forever.
but either way, some people are just saying, "Oh, Carney's like, you know, like liberal voters got lied to." Here's what I don't understand. If you're a conservative voter, shouldn't you be like now happy because, you know, the current prime minister is being buddies with Trump? Don't complain.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't you be celebrating in the streets?
Yeah.
No, am I wrong here?
Yeah, we want a leader. Even if it was Polyev that got elected, I would have loved for him to have a good rapport with Donald Trump.
We have to at this
Yeah,
point.
we have to.
Yeah.
right?
Even though we don't want to, we have to.
There is a thing that like he hated Trudeau, right? That's why it was Governor Trudeau.
Governor
it was
Trudeau, yeah.
51st state. The 51st state rhetoric has not stopped, but he doesn't call Mark Carney governor, right?
Yeah.
This kind of stuff I don't subscribe to, but like people are like, oh, it's because Trudeau was laughing with Trump's wife, and he saw them laughing together, and now he's held a grudge. It's like, but these people will go to their
Yeah,
crazy.
God
crazy-
forbid someone laughs at a joke.
Yeah.
No, but like, what's his wife's name again? Trump's-
Melania.
Melania. No, Melania, like you can tell she's usually sometimes pissed off at him and like these little things. She won't hold his hand and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was around that time where then Trudeau was there and then she's like so happy. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's why people are saying that. So on that note though, on the note of like negotiating and that kind of stuff, Alberta, 30% of the population wants to separate.
That's not
With the
majority.
considering the Liberals won. If the Liberals didn't win,
They're doing a petition though. They're not doing an actual vote. A petition's like nothing.
So they decreased the number of voters needed for the petition. That Daniel.
by how
Smith-
much? Do you know?
I'm not sure about how much. So now just to sort of get enough people sign the
The
petition,
ball rolling.
then
yeah.
you could have that referendum.
It's crazy because even people in Alberta, they're like, dude, we're not about this. Like there are people out there that are like, we're not about this. We don't care. We want to be a part of Canada. We don't want to be the 51st state or whatever. And it's like, you are like these people that are voting for this, you're doing exactly what you thought the Liberals were doing to you. Oh, they're communists. Oh, they're not letting us
Yeah,
have
yeah.
democracy. You're doing exactly what you're not even letting them have a chance in this. You're not letting them have a say in this. So how can you say we're all about democracy, we're all about freedom here, when you're not even giving anyone else a chance to even rebuttal against you? Like it kind of doesn't really add up, right?
I don't really agree. I don't really understand what you're saying though.
I'm saying essentially it's like
Explain to me Punjabi.
okay, so you know how the conservatives and everything, they always, and like the right wings always say, yo, we have no control over our country.
Okay, you're saying they're
and all
not.
this
They're
stuff.
saying that like now we don't want you to have control over this country. You listen to us or else.
Yeah, that too, but also they're not giving other people in Alberta a fair chance to vote. If this really does go that far and it comes to that choice, will there be a full vote of the province and where it goes? Like, you think it's fair to people who don't align with that to live in that province, and they're just gonna move, right? Is that fair to other people having to move because of that? That's not fair.
If I'm Albertan, and I look at the numbers, they make the most amount of money compared to pretty much not all of the provinces combined, but BC's fourth.
Yeah.
I know that. And Alberta is number one by a long shot with the oil
But that,
and gas
yeah,
industry.
oil and gas.
So if I'm Alberta, the Liberals have basically made their lives pretty miserable over the past 10 years. They have not allowed for pipelines and a lot of things that Carney is going to be more open to. But I'm just trying to say, I understand if I'm Alberta, you have Quebec wanting to separate. Quebec has no economic power
Yeah.
to do it. And Alberta actually, they say like funds so much of all of the country, right?
But isn't that on the premier, not the prime minister? Like, isn't your premier responsible for half this stuff?
Well, not if the federal, I guess.
So there's federal law and there's provincial law. So I guess, with a lot of stuff that comes, the resources that come out of there, they pay the federal government. So when you look at it, they're producing more that the government's getting more, but that government divides that and sends out to other provinces more
Okay.
than what they're getting, right?
Okay, so then I understand.
Yeah,
I understand why Albertans are pissed. Then.
Right.
That makes sense.
And then you know what? And then for the last so many years, every pipeline they had has been shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Maybe they don't want to be the 51st state, but by default, they might just become the 51st state because they can't make pipelines to the West Coast or, what they want. They can't push the oil out how they want. Maybe they might just have to send it to the States.
The
But
craziest
for them,
thing
it's
is
about prospering. They just want to make money, feed their families, and, get a lot of money. So they probably think they'll be like Kuwait or something like that, some Middle East.
the crazy thing is this 51st rhetoric would never even have been on anyone's brain if one guy didn't mention it. That's it. No one would have thought, let's go to America, let's join America. Not in a million years does anyone ever think of that. Just because one person mentioned it a few times, which is, you still mention this to this day, everyone's like, okay, that's a solution. And it's like, it isn't that easy. I mean, it's like so many things have to change if you really want to join that country. And we've spoken about it before as well in a different podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, I did some research on the whole Alberta thing, and like, I didn't know that BC is the third largest port in North America.
Yeah. I would say in the world is top 10 as well.
There's so much
It's
stuff coming
massive,
back
yeah.
and forth from Asia that were huge for Canada for that. But either way, I understand why somebody in Alberta would feel this way. Separating is not the way. And all you can do right now is Danielle, as a premier, needs to work with Mark Carney here. And I'm optimistic. I think that the Liberals are supposed to be the center, aren't they? Kind of that center.
Yeah.
So, realistically, they should be more lenient about it. But I don't know. The other thing is, I saw some Indigenous speakers recently. Did you see that where he grabbed the Alberta paperwork for the petition or whatever it was, and he threw it in the air at the house or something, and he's like, "This is garbage."
Bill 54, this is what we think of you. You're garbage like that. This is treaty land, and we stand on it today.
This is treaty country, and any talk of separation is really insanity.
I felt very patriotic seeing that, right? Like seeing the Indigenous, there was a bunch of them as like a tribe, I guess, being like, if you don't fucking like it here, they're saying it in no uncertain terms. If you don't like it here, this is Canada. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
If you want to separate or whatever. But I don't know. Are they the ones also trying to stop the pipelines as well? They obviously don't want pipelines in their land.
Yeah.
So
They're divided. There's a lot of divide. There's some people who look at the economic benefits
side.
from it, and then some people like, no, these are lands we don't want to get. We don't want pollution. These big companies coming in.
Or it's just money. They just want money, don't they? Like if you
some people want money. Some people they're like, man, they just want to get money. But some people are like, no, this is our land, and we're not going to just give it up and sell out over money.
Really, is that what it is?
And so that's what they view these big corporations as the same sort of evil that same people that came in way back and basically colonized them, right? Gave them alcohol and got them all messed up and started taking their land.
You've had this conversation with people that are in, like when you were locked up with some of these people. Like, did you learn
a conversation
about that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
Is that where you're getting this information?
Just
news?
News, just in general, just from what I know of it. Right, I could be wrong, but I've spoken to people about lots of different topics over my years. It's like pretty much somebody
India.
wants to buy your land in India, right? And some your grandparents like, no way, I worked hard for this land. I'm never gonna sell it, nothing at all. And meanwhile, the kids are over here,
Okay, what
and
are you
they're
saying?
like, man, you know what? That land's worth a lot of money. What are we gonna do with it? It's useless to us. We live in the city now. What are we gonna do with that land over there?
But before we finish off on Alberta separation, the other thing, just like that I read there too, was if Alberta does separate and they're like, oh, we're going to be this rich country, they're not going to be allowed in NAFTA or anything. Like they're going to get so tariffed by
true,
Canada
probably.
and like US being like, if they were separate, if they were the states, different story. But if they become like, if I'm in Alberta, you can have your own land, you can do all this oil, everything, but nobody's going to want your oil anymore.
Would they be good in the Olympics, you think? Now the country of Alberta.
Connor McDavid.
No, he's not from there.
Isn't Gretzky from Edmonton? He's
No,
Ontario too? Ontario?
Ontario.
Oh, yo, I love that Trump was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I love Canadians. It's just so
Wayne
funny.
Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, and then he goes into Ovechkin randomly.
He's like talking about like how Ovechkin's like great for like the Washington, and it's like, okay, bro, like
Wayne Gretzky, I mean, how good, the great one. You happen to have a very, very good hockey player right here on the Capitals, who I have a lot of. He is a big, tough cookie too. Just broke.
We have a great guy here too, by the way.
Yeah,
Just so you know,
well,
like,
Alexander
it's-
Ovechkin.
he's like, he's
Great goal
actually
scorer.
Russian. He's Russian, but he's not here. On top of that, Pierre didn't even win his own riding. Can we just
yeah. Can we
acknowledge
just
that?
say this? Us three sitting here in 2025 have the same amount of wins in our riding that Pierre Poilievre does. That's fucking sad, bro. If you're a leader of a party, that's sad.
No, people
regardless
are
of what
trying to
happens.
say that. Okay, people are trying to say that he lost his riding because there's 91 people on the ballot. I don't care if you have any sort of vision and critical thinking and know the alphabet. You just go down and you find where the P would land after the O and everything else, and then you put an X in there. I refuse to believe that people did the wrong one. However, I will be honest. When I went to vote, I said I voted Liberal. I just quickly went there and I was like, oh, and I almost wrote X on Libertarian. I had a Libertarian candidate. So like that one, I'm like, wait, that's Libertarian? That's what they go by? And then I'm like, read the name. It's not the right name. And then I voted for the right person.
But even looking at the ballot, like me and you looked at it, it's hard to find either or. Like you said, alphabetical, yeah, whatever. But
Well, more people found Mark Carney.
yeah,
Or not Mark Carney, but the
Or-
Liberal guy.
yeah, but I didn't even know his name, and I still found him, and I found Pierre Poilievre. They're almost at this level on the ballot. They're right beside each other almost. So you can't even say like, yeah, on opposite sides of the sheet. I know, I get that, but it wasn't like, oh, Pierre Poilievre's in a random section, the finest print. If you really wanted to vote for the guy, you can find him and put an X or whatever is allowed in the voting
Yeah.
ballot.
No, the writing also changed.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2023, Elections Canada moved because of population increase and stuff. They moved the riding from being in one corner to a bigger section.
Which in the States they call it gerrymandering.
No, but this is not. This is not.
They
This
did in
is
all Canada. My writing got
Yeah.
changed too. Every writing got
Everyone,
changed.
even
No, no,
Surrey
no.
as well, too.
Yeah.
Lots of writings got changed, but let's just think about this for a second. If you are a politician, leader of a party, and your writing has changed, you if I'm going to trust you with my government, I need to trust you at the very least with some strategic thinking about your own fucking writing. And they must have had at least a certain amount of confidence that writing was, going to be okay. They had 2 years to plan for that.
100%.
So I don't care. He should have just moved to Alberta.
Exactly.
Last-
Find a safe spot. Go over there.
Yeah.
Now this is embarrassing for
This
a
is
leader.
really
Yeah.
embarrassing.
You lost the election, which it was in the bag.
Yeah, it was in the bag.
And then on top of that, you lose your own seat.
Yeah.
Like why?
That's bad,
Just
bro.
what he did is, according to the guy that beat him in his own writing, he never showed up enough.
never
to
showed
his
up.
own
That guy did
writing.
door knocking for 2 years.
Exactly. And he's like, I actually talked to people about what they want, and like they actually were. I built a rapport with people.
Yeah.
That's what made him win. People were like, no, he won because it's rigged, and like they messed up the writing. And yeah, maybe they did, but he actually did the real work. This other guy, he's going across the country talking to people, not going to his own place. He probably thought it's in the bag. I don't have to worry about it and all that shit, and that doesn't look good.
Mark Carney, you were telling me this, had a rally somewhere in the country, not Vancouver, when the tragic incident happened at the festival, Lapu Lapu Festival. He changed his flight,
Yeah.
changed his direction, went straight here.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre Poilievre didn't flinch.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are going to say, oh, well, Mark Carney's just doing it to get votes. He just did it to
The
be,
photo op. Yeah.
I don't,
It's one of the
You-
big.
you
It's
could-
one. Canada never really has stuff like this happen.
tragedies like
So
this.
when it happens, it's huge. Like you never hear of it, right? Like the last, I think big one was probably like that shooting in like that Quebec school like years and years ago.
The
Like,
Toronto, remember in Toronto, the guy went around driving his car
Yeah,
around people?
but like how long ago was that? You can't even remember the year.
10 years ago.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when something like this happens, all of Canada's looking at it, right? The whole world's looking at it, not just Canada. And if you don't show up, that shows a lot. I know you can say photo op, whatever, but for him to actually cancel,
Well,
his
then do
stuff
your
and
photo op. It's
reschedule-
called
Yeah.
being strategy. So strategic thinking, right? You're a politician. If you want, if let's just say we assume the worst of every politician, it's still strategic to come and
Pay
be
your
there for
respects,
that.
yeah.
And another thing that I've heard when I was in Ontario in the summertime, I had a conservative guy out there who works tightly with the Conservative Party out there, and he's like, "Bro, it's a shit show out here." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "People who should be getting elected, there should have a fair process." But the federal Conservative Party, what they were doing was they were just planting their own guys in there. It was like just there was no nomination, nothing. No, this guy's just getting getting the ticket.
Oh wow.
To
So
run.
not democratic.
No, not democratic at all. And that's what pissed a lot of people off. They're like, "Fuck this! This, you know, they're just letting their own guys, you know, implanting them."
That's
And people got
interesting.
pissed off about that.
What do you say to people that say, "Hey, well, you can vote for the conservatives. Why would you think every conservative is racist? There's Punjabi conservative MPs. What would you say to those people?"
Like, you're not racist for anything like that. It's just there's a fraction of, like Mindy mentioned it before. Like, you go to any other political parties posts and everything, they don't have that rhetoric. Why is this rhetoric only with one party, right? Why is this group of people only in one party and one support, like one area they're supporting? Why are they not with liberals? Why are they not with NDP? Like, I don't understand that. It's like it's always the same group of people in the same party. It's always the same thing.
So all the racist people that leaving comments on the posts, Pierre could thank you guys.
No, yeah, this is not what Canada's about. It's not what Canada is about. Canada is about a welcoming land that welcomes everyone, gives opportunity to everyone. It's not Canadian to be like that. It is American to be like that. I'm sorry. America is known for this kind of stuff. And that's why I'm not surprised to see, Trump and the hate rhetoric winning there. And again, I don't think that, regardless of who Trump is, the hate filled, like a lot of people voted that way, right? Regardless. So we're lucky that we did have Carney though, because if it was two people that were like horrible, I think Carney actually started to look better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we had someone running the
Then it
Liberal
would have
Party,
been like,
it would've
voting
been-
for who's the
better
the better of the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the I don't know.
What, another thing I like on the comments, everything else, and just hearing people talk. Actually, before I say that, I went to IHOP one time with my daughter, and I was sitting there, and ADHD, we're always like scanning if someone's talking, we're not paying attention here, but something's catching our ear, and there was a divider right here, and it was a Caucasian guy, and he's talking to his family, and literally he was laying out the whole thing about Trudeau, how he resigned, how everyone wanted to vote for Pierre now. Before he resigned, everyone was about Pierre, but now Trudeau resigned. And then he started weighing out the pros and cons and talking about, hey, how Pierre has been a politician for the last 20 years, never had a real job, nothing at all. That's what everyone says, right? I'm not sure. I never checked his resume, but
He knows how to make pizza.
yeah. And
Can he make fries like Donald Trump though? I don't think so.
So he never had a job.
Yeah, so
Pierre never had a job.
But this guy was certainly trying to explain to his family why you should vote
Liberal.
for Liberal, and this was actually in White Rock, and
It's a
the
conservative.
Conservatives
party.
lost their seat there, right?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, the person that won, he's I think Klassen is his last name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've
He
seen his
became
like,
MP,
photo with the
right?
flag in
Yeah,
his hand.
yeah. And another thing I also want to mention is like, which was shocking to me, was how Pierre got up and gave a speech one time saying, hey, you know what? The Canada Dream, basically saying, hey, a kid who was given up for adoption by a 16-year-old mother, right, could make it up to this position. And I felt like saying, hey, you know what? That's awesome that she gave you up for adoption, because imagine if she never gave you up for adoption, you would never have this opportunity. You had good luck, good fortune that you're adopted by a loving, caring family and treated like their own child, and you had support, everything.
A lot of people don't get that. Yeah.
They don't understand that. Most people who are locked up in prison have been on the other side of it, where their mother didn't give them up for adoption. She, kept the baby. Baby was raised in a toxic environment where a 16-year-old is just still a child.
Yeah.
They know nothing at all.
It's a sponge.
Yeah. So now what's happening, that kid's grown up and, with a lot of trauma and everything else. And fortunately, Pierre didn't deal with that, but he needs to have more compassion for the people who got left behind, were never given up for adoption. But for me, I think he missed the mark over there.
That's a great point.
Do you think that the Conservatives need a new face for the party? They don't think so.
You know, I don't think they've won like 25 more seats, I guess, from before. So
Yeah,
he
But
did,
that's that, but that's not. Is that him or is that just because people hated the Liberals?
yeah, people,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hated Trudeau and then Carney was.
Even with that thing, I think this is such a like. Sorry, it's gonna be probably rough for people to hear. It's a loser mentality. Sorry, I've watched a lot of sports. When my team loses,
You
but
watch a
they
lot
get,
of losing teams.
but yeah, I watch a lot of losing teams. Whenever my
Fucking
team,
loser.
when my team gets close but we still lose, even though we were supposed to win, I'm gonna make fun of my team. I don't give a shit. I'm big. We fucking blew it. We suck. Yeah, we got close, but guess what? We still lost, and we're still not there where we need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't get this whole rhetoric of, oh, yeah, you know, we got closer this time, guys. Yeah, sure, maybe you did, but in regards to that kind of stuff, my whole mentality is, yo, you still lost, and guess why you lost? You didn't address the things that you never ever address,
Yeah.
and until you don't address that, you probably will never win.
there were
Actually, I'll never say never because we said never last time. Liberals won. So yeah.
the other thing, Caucasian people that I had conversations with pre and post election, were like, we don't like Pierre. We don't like him. They're like, we don't even like him. We don't like to hear him talk. Like, you know, he just there's not that should be the only reason. There had other valid reasons too, right? But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But in politics, there's people in life. They either love you or they hate you, or or they're indifferent. But with Pierre, I think there's more people who are either they love him or they hate him.
Yeah.
Some people like, hey, he's a straight shooter. He's a stand-up guy, right? You know, I had a dinner with a friend a couple of weeks ago, and I was telling him, who you voting for? He's like, man, conservative, man. He goes, I love Pierre. I'm like, oh, I go, what do you like about him? He's like, reporter asked him a question. He just eats his fries, casually, and says, okay, show me. Like, you're saying that, show me. Like, who's saying this? He's, because the reporter's always like, oh, they're saying this, they're saying that. Okay, show me who's saying it, right?
Yeah.
But I get it from the other side because I've seen Pierre in action a lot of times on CBC and in committees that are going on, and he's extremely arrogant. He's condescending. So people get turned off by that, and he always has like this smirk on his face.
Yeah,
Way too
always,
confident.
always, yeah.
So some people are like, man, fuck this
That's
guy.
what I
right?
mean, but he has
Yeah.
that politician look,
Yeah.
that vibe of
No,
a
he
politician.
changed it. He pulled a Mark Zuckerberg. He changed his look quite a bit, but from when he used to have his glasses, his hair was like he
Parted.
looked really nerdy before, and then when he came, he
Mark
had a really
Zuckerberg,
good
That's a crazy.
Yeah.
glow up. Well, you know Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
did-
Mark Zuckerberg just looks like a fucking teenager now, like in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
You've seen him, right? He's
with
wearing a gold
perm,
chain.
gold
He's
chain.
got curly hair now.
He's a surfer. He's a
He looks
hunter.
like a rapper.
It's crazy.
Still a
Like,
dork.
Looks like Jack
Yeah.
Harlow.
Yeah, like Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
He won't know who Jack Harlow is.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Did he go to Coastal School?
No. Go to jail.
Did you know that the People's Party of Canada now wants to run alongside in that riding where Pierre is going to run?
in
Oh,
Alberta?
wow.
In Alberta.
Did you know that? In Alberta?
No, that's awesome.
It is awesome. And I think, hey, if you're watching this and you're racist, vote for that guy.
Yeah.
Vote for that guy. Just vote your hand where you freaking want it. You know what I'm saying? Like
But even Pierre going for that riding, like you're
80%. It's the
Yeah,
it's the
80%,
number
like-
one. I think it was the number one riding.
you 100% are scared that you're gonna lose again. That's number one.
Yeah.
Second thing is you kind of screwed over the guy that's been running that riding for quite a minute. Like
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, like, I feel bad for
respect
that
to him.
guy.
He's gonna get
Yeah.
a job.
Yeah,
He's gonna get a
he-
job.
He's
He'll be fine.
yeah.
I feel bad for him though.
Yeah. No, he'll be taken care of,
Hopefully.
right?
I mean, he'll be looked at as like a hero. He'll
Yeah.
he'll get
He's a martyr.
He'll get a
automatic.
statue.
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna replace the John A. McDonald statues with
Yeah, he's
his.
gonna give you the $1. He's gonna give you the $5 bill.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
gonna change it. No more Terry Fox, this guy.
Oh yeah,
It's a
when does
blue
that
bill.
start? Terry Fox.
I hope
gonna
it's
be-
soon. That's
Terry
honestly,
Fox $5 bill. I'm excited
that's
for
the
that.
greatest thing I think Canada's done in a few years. I'm surprised it took this
I
long.
didn't know that. So it's coming on the $5 bill.
Yeah, that's a
wicked.
great move.
Yeah.
That's probably the best.
Well, why
move they
can't it
made.
be on a higher value dollar bill?
Honestly, I don't even know any of the people. Like, I'm not really a
should've
historian.
been on the
I know
$100
zero about politics. If you talk to me about politics, it's one year out the other. I don't know half the other people on the bill. For me, $100 because it's close to Gretzky. I would say put Gretzky on that bill. 50, maybe put Crosby on that.
Put Mindy on the 20s.
Who's
the pennies.
the Olympic sprinter? Was it Donovan Bailey?
Yeah.
I would put him on like the $20 bill or probably the $50 bill because that was a great story.
Hey, come on. What about some women on there?
I
Keeping
would
Elizabeth?
put Christine Sinclair
Yes,
on
yes.
the 20 or the
Yeah.
50. That's a great one. Actually, just put a collection
Oh
of.
yeah,
Actually,
Christine
yeah,
Sinclair,
the
yeah.
$100 bill. Screw it. A collection of athletes. So you know that one place in Surrey that has a mural of like a bunch of athletes. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
That's at the hot tub place.
I don't know about what hot
Yeah,
tub
yeah.
is, but yeah, they have a mural of a bunch of athletes. Do that. Put a bunch of Canadian like athletes and like amazing people. That would be the greatest bill.
What
I
about-
think personally.
Which kabaddi player would you put on there?
That's a
Jesse
tough one.
Zahoda.
Yeah.
You put the Limelight logo on it too. We'll sneak it in there. Just fine for it.
Anyways,
But Jesse Soda's a beast in kabaddi, man's legend, right?
I'm sure, dude. He's looks like a tank
Yeah,
and
yeah,
speaks like one too.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
That would be an issue. You put that on the $100 bill. A lot of people would be like, "That's not a real Canadian."
I know, right?
We're not gonna trash on
I,
Jagmeet, but
I think take the Royals off for sure.
Yeah.
The Royals have contributed nothing to Canada.
Honestly, I don't like the Queens
Right.
on the $20 bill.
no, put the other girl. What's her name? The one that left the royal family.
Meghan Markle.
Yeah, put her on the bill
Yeah.
then.
I'd rather have if I'm doing someone out of the royal family, like I don't even know.
If you're dating someone, in the
No. If they had to put someone on the bill, do they have a dog or something? Put them on the bill.
So you look at all the parties and their leaders. So Pierre pretty much lost his own seat. A lot has happened with leadership. Trudeau resigns, Carney's in. Jagmeet Singh lost his seat as well too. So there's a huge transformation.
Jagmeet
going
got dominated. I think Jagmeet did not have a good campaign
on.
strategy.
No, I think you know what?
I like some of their policies, bro.
Yeah,
I like some of their
don't know. But I think
policies.
he spent too much time dancing around. Just more of a performer.
I think he's a good guy and he has a good heart. I just think what he wanted was just something that Canadians could not align with, because in reality, what it came at a cost. I feel bad for him obviously getting beat every time. He did win his riding a few times, but yeah, I mean, I think he's a good guy. I think people are a bit hard on him, and maybe he doesn't make it easy for people to not be hard on him at times. But yeah, I mean, he had a decent career as a politician, I guess, for a minute. But I think at his heart and his true core, he is a good person. And I think people are a little bit too extreme about how they view him.
No, I think just from a marketing campaign strategy, it was horrible strategy. I think the best strategy, the best marketing that was done originally, Pierre Poilievre was doing a great job, but Carney didn't have to do any of that. Carney had the resume.
Mm-hmm.
He had the freaking credibility, and he didn't have freaking racist people commenting.
And he wasn't that negative. I think people get sick and tired of the negative campaign as well too. When you run a campaign on fear, everyone's like, "Oh my God," right?
Yeah.
But some people, when you're spitting out positivity, it's like, "Hey, listen, you know what? They made it look like that Canada's the only country in the world that's going down, that's going through tough times. Whole world is going through tough times."
Yeah, and you mentioned this earlier, but the whole thing about scaring everyone that it's not safe anymore in Canada, it's not this anymore.
Boogeyman.
You know
behind
what,
every door.
man? It's not that unsafe. I mean, yes, some bad things can happen, and
Bad things
some
happen everywhere.
bad things
Yeah,
happen,
yeah.
obviously, bad things are gonna happen regardless. But
And even that
it's not-
conservative post, even to go on that, how they posted that thing like, "Oh, Canada's unsafe." I know it's probably an automated post that they're probably gonna do it anyways. It was a day after the festival attack. Like that was a very like tone deaf
Insensitive,
post.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like a pretty.
what did they post?
It posted like a whole it's like a bunch of clips of people getting robbed, carjacked, attacked, assaulted.
You saw it?
They
No,
post.
they took it down.
Yeah, they took it down, but they posted it on Twitter for a long enough time for a lot of people to see it. And I saw it, and I was just like,
put it up and then took it down.
yeah, like it was
So
very.
they knew they were idiots for it.
yeah.
Well, they took down what they said, the title and
Mismanagement,
everything,
bro.
right?
Yeah.
They changed the messaging on it.
But it was just like the timing of it was not the greatest,
Yeah.
and you have to be, especially during like that time. It was like a day before the election, day or two before the election.
Yeah.
You got to be more smarter than that. Like it's like you guys kind of shot yourself in the foot with a lot of things, and then you guys blamed half of Canada for voting against you.
Yeah, it truly is the racism that really bothered me the most, and the negative and the hate, and with trust also given to Carney that hey, he will be able to take care of the economy, and take care of my situation as well. Like
And I think that, people who are watching this, they should watch the Dr. Masuda podcast. It's a game changer. Everyone's perspective is going to change on a lot of things. Like she said, mental health, it's going to be a game changer for mental health.
mental health is the core reason for a lot of the problems. One more thing I want to say: the people that are on YouTube that have YouTube channels that fight for political left or right, they're also incentivized to divide people. They're incentivized to, push for their party now. There's a few of these people online, they support freaking pure ride or die. And it's like, and same thing with the left side. If all you do is just go all about just like no matter what, defend the person at all costs, defend the
and
party
any
at all costs.
information you get on the other side is always negative and always bad shit. You're
It's
stuck.
it's there's no money in like we talked about with Dr. Masuda. There's no money in non-patented medicine, natural medicine, right? There's no money in it. There's also no money in like I said, calm, non-viral videos where you just like this video will definitely not be going viral.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that bothers me too, is just in general in media. And that's why, we are talking about this openly, but we can sit here and say, we are not anti-conservative, anti-NDP, or only pro-liberal. From a policy perspective, there's things I agree from all the parties, all major three parties.
So there was a post that 604 TV made, and I saw it like right when it got posted. It was essentially a TikToker saying, "Hey guys, liberals have not won yet. They haven't calculated the advanced polling. So don't think that the conservatives have lost just yet."
According to them, it's over, but I forgot one thing. It's not quite over yet. They haven't counted the advanced polling.
He sounds very alike like that. Honestly, I might just be him. Let me just shave my head.
That sounds pretty sexy. Can you say it again?
So the troll I am, and I would do the same for the Canucks. I would do the same for any person that lost after being crowned the winner too early. I said conservatives are down bad right now with crying, laughing emojis. It got a lot of likes, and that proves to you that probably a lot of people voted liberal, right? There was a lot of people that hated on us. I didn't reply to none of these comments because it was just fucking hilarious seeing people they're raging at each
They
other.
lose their shit.
They're losing. He's losing. He's getting angrier and angrier by comment, and no one has responded to him. He said, "Listen to yourself, bro. You're making a joke out of our country's federal election. It's not a joke. Grow up." Responds to himself 3 more times. Literally grow up. This ain't about winning or losing. It's about our country. You're down bad with your podcast. Like, give it up. This one's directed straight at you. Nobody cares about your negative outlook, just like nobody cares about your podcast and about why you chose your puppy. And then he deletes all these
Oh,
comments.
he did delete them all?
Dude, everyone deleted. Even this one guy, Gary, shout out. He said, "Get a real job. The podcast ain't gonna make it." He had like 40 likes, deletes it, reposts it, gets 1 like, deletes it again.
This brown guy talking
Brown
shit,
guy.
deleting it, keeps posting it.
And then the one that stuck the most is just the one that kept it and had like 30 likes. He said, "You should apply to McDonald's. I don't think the 6 listeners of the show will pay the bills."
He deleted that one, didn't he?
This show's not supposed to pay the bills. Like, I don't think it.
I responded to a couple people about dumb shit too, right? On one post, I just said, "There's so many negative Nancy's here. Calm down. It's going to be okay." Because after Carney won,
Yeah.
everyone's just like, it's the end of the world, like the apocalypse, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here I have a graph, and it's of El Salvador's homicides for the last like 7 years, and essentially they've gone 900 days with no homicides.
Because everyone's in jail.
This is what this guy said. This is what that same guy,
So, same guy. Oh, okay.
Canada could learn a thing or two
You're not
from
doing the
El
voice.
Salvador.
You gotta do the voice. This guy's voice, he should get into voice acting. I like his voice. Very soothing voice. I'm not gonna lie.
Go ahead. Let's
You know
go.
the-
Let's go.
Canada could learn a thing or two from El Salvador. This is directly from President Bukele. 900 days, no homicides. From murder capital of the world to the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. Who would have thought that jailing all the criminals would work?
So he's saying. So they. Do you know about this?
I know about it.
So what are your thoughts? This guy is a conservative advocate, and
Is it brown guy?
no,
I got a guy.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what he
I'm
is.
not sure what he is. He's like a half.
Oh, that guy. Fuck. I can't
Yeah,
stand that
you've
guy.
seen him, right? That's his voice.
That's how he talks. No. So he is a proud Canadian. He identifies as a proud Canadian conservative, liberal fact checker,
Mhm.
and I donate millions to the CRA. That's what he says. That's
How much does he make?
taxes.
No,
No, but
he's
how
probably-
much is he making?
he's
To
probably got
donate
some-
millions?
Yeah.
No. So what are your thoughts on this? So at face value, he's saying that we need to lock people up, and it stopped the homicides.
Okay. So imagine by mistake or his associations, whatever it is, he gets locked up and he's totally innocent.
There was actually many of people that were
Many
locked up.
people. There's so many people that are
thousands.
locked up right now
Innocent.
that are innocent. That's like saying, hey, listen, brown people are doing most of homicides. Let's lock up all the brown people, right?
Yeah.
The rate's going to drop for sure.
Yeah.
Anybody with any sort of like, trauma or upbringing that's a little bit rough, lock them up.
Yeah, it's not a
And
solution.
it'll be safe.
This is what this guy's spewing. This is
Yeah.
what the conservatives are. This is what the conservatives like.
Yeah.
His
Lock them up and throw the
his-
key away. It's not a solution. It's
No.
not a solution.
So he said stuff like that. Do you see this one?
See that?
Have you seen this one?
They're like,
reliable car
look at what they're
चाहिए
doing.
In stock सड्डी को 2025 Honda
making
Civic
a
Sport
buzz on
है
this
ये.
girl.
You can own this car in only
Have you
$290
seen this?
bi-weekly with $0 down. For best deals, ओना कितने हैं?
So
Khadwa.
people are saying white girl
albino?
wears a turban to sell cars.
Oh,
This is too much.
she's gory, full gory.
So another thing he said, Pierre losing a seat made absolutely no sense. So I dug into this a bit further. What I didn't know was that his riding expanded into heavy liberal territory. So that's the same shit that we talked about already.
He should have known this. He should have got a safer seat.
That's what we said. That's what I'm saying.
Biggest thing is, bro, this guy, you're in the wrong profession. Do ASMR, do voice acting. You got a good voice. Don't use it and waste it on this shit.
So there's another
This
guy.
shit's pointless.
There's another guy.
He's not
named,
making anything off this. I probably is off like rage baiting, but you can make more.
Have you seen this guy?
No.
Is that a trucker
Truck
guy?
driver.
Yeah.
His name. He goes by Trucker Pleb.
Is he right wing too?
He's
Yeah.
he's a reporter and covering politics and the culture wars. He doesn't seem to
His
identify.
video of when they lost was like almost the identical
was
video
crying.
for when the Canucks lost the Stanley Cup. I was distraught, and this guy was distraught like me.
When
He was
conservatives
crying.
lost?
No, he was crying.
Yeah, like he was like my life's over. Like he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do in my life, and that's literally how bad it got for him.
He was crying. He went MIA after the day of the election, just like Pierre Poilievre did.
Yeah.
2-3 days later, he posted this. I'm signing out for a few weeks. If you don't see me tweeting, don't worry. I'll be back soon and stronger than ever. His photo is him on a private jet. Or not a private
No,
jet,
first
but
class.
first class, sorry.
Yeah.
He's in first class.
Yeah.
Have you flown first class?
No. Business class. That's it. Not first class.
Never first class. I wish I could. If I'm going somewhere far, I gotta do it once. I can't last in planes, yo. It's just too much pain.
How much money are these guys making? Like that guy donating millions to
Oh, they
CRA.
make
This
great.
guy, no. By spreading this kind of
Yeah.
information, miss or not, or whatever, just hate. These guys are making big
Well,
bucks.
Some of these guys, like I don't like. I'm getting my information off sports pages. Like these guys who are like just like people that make funny memes, like things that happen in sports. They actually are honest about how much they make. They say, "Hey guys, look at how much I made." Just off like this shit posting or whatever it's called. They're making a decent chunk of just like ad revenue and all this bullshit, like monetization
So
on X.
guys like this, how they see Canada and how they would like it, I'm just assuming here. They would want immigrants to come here, just strictly work visas, and if they mess up, ship them out and bring someone in to replace them, and that's it. They can never be pakke here,
Yeah.
Permanent here.
permanent.
Yeah, but you can't. Nobody will want to come here if they don't have incentive to be permanent. So
Yeah.
it's not gonna
That's how
work.
these guys just want to make all the money, have cheap labor come here and do everything. Uber, fucking restaurants.
It's like, dude,
drive-thrus.
ask this guy if you're in the same position, would you do that? Oh, come to Europe for like 3 months, work your ass off, and go back home, bro. No one wants to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
and make nothing basically.
Yeah,
right?
make nothing. Make like
But
$10.
there is this white supremacy as well too, that people are just like, they sort of feel like they're losing it.
Yeah.
But it's equality. It's not about supremacy.
Yeah.
We're in Canada, and the other thing, sorry, that we didn't talk about, if you do look at the map of Canada right now, and you are not informed on political parties, and you just look at the colors, a lot of Canada looks blue, apart from the top that looks a little bit orange, and then the top, the Quebec area, which is baby blue, right? It looks blue, and it looks like it's all conservative. When you zoom in, you look at even in Alberta, Calgary, Edmonton, it's liberal. Do you have any thoughts on why are there so many people that are voting conservative and openly, very anti a lot of immigration and a lot of the liberal ways? Why are more people in rural areas like that versus in the city? Do you have any thoughts?
There's a lot less diversity there. Right? Immigrants normally are moving to urbanized areas.
Exactly what you said.
No,
That's exactly what he was saying to me earlier. Yeah.
no. I just had a conversation
never
with
even
someone
thought
that
of it
lives
that
in a
way.
rural area too, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't." He was like saying, "I don't know why." And then another person was like, "Well, you guys live when you live out from the city, you generally have a larger area you live in and more of a quieter neighborhood, and you only see your circle of people. And when you turn on the TV,
Yeah.
you see something else, and you're like, "What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
Oh
these
my
city people are
God.
crazy.
No way!" But like even in Edmonton, bro, it's liberal. Like you go in, you
That's
zoom in.
shocker. I didn't expect that.
No, it's even in Calgary. There are pockets. It's pockets, right? There's both, but there's like one riding that's liberal there. Knowing the freaking conservatives, they would have put Pierre there
Did
by accident.
Did Amarjeet Sohi win?
Who's he again?
He's the guy that lost his seat to Tim Opal before. First, he took the seat away from Tim Opal.
Tim Opal, man, the blue pug. It's real, guys. The fucking mayor of Edmonton said it's real, so it must be real. It cannot be scam.
Cannot
Also,
be.
he lost in Southeast. Yeah.
Oh, he ran for MP.
MP. So first it was Tim Uppal for a couple of times he won,
Yeah.
and then Amarjeet Sohi when Trudeau came in 2015, unseated him, and then when the next election came, he lost his seat to Tim Uppal again, and then now they did some did the ridings over there in
Gerrymandering.
Mandarin, right?
Never heard that name. I never heard that word.
It's American term politics over there, where basically what you do is the parties draw the lines so it benefits them, right?
No, but election. That's the thing too. There's no doubt. I don't have any doubt that the election was rigged in any way.
Yeah, no.
No, it's a fair election. I just think
Yeah.
it's like
They have those posts where they show people with ballot boxes.
yeah,
like,
like
give me a
dude,
fucking
oh
break.
come
What
on.
was it? What
It's like people like taking it out of a van. They're like, oh, they're not even secure.
Oh
Like, it's
my God.
Like, does anyone have any idea where they were? Anyone? Like, no, man, it's not how it works. It's just too much. It's loser mentality, guys. Take the L, fix your fucking mistakes, and come back stronger. That's all you have to do. Fuck this fucking. Oh, it's rigged. It's all this.
and be who you are.
Yeah.
Be the part. If Conservative Party is a party of, deporting everyone, and being fully about racism and whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and then don't come to
Be
Vasaki
it.
saying we're a part of you guys, we're with you guys, we're not
Yeah.
gonna do you guys wrong. Don't say that. Say what you say and come to Vasaki and see
Yeah.
it.
Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa,
Yeah.
Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.
No, and yeah, and like again, you look at the Vasaki.
Or Pierre. Bole so right?
No,
He
but-
thought he was like at a concert or something. Like
what's crazy though is you do scroll through the like Pierre Poilievre's like page, you don't see that many posts of him doing any like this the Vasaki stuff, whatever. It's kind of hidden away in his profile.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not very obvious. Even when you're scrolling, it won't be like an obvious photo of him with a Ramal on or something. It'll be like some photo of like the conservative
it
logo.
took me a minute to find
You
it on
can't
Instagram
find
page.
the
Yeah.
I went to go and find the Vasaki thing. You can't find it.
I thought he never had a post.
So
It
what do
took
you
me a
what do
minute to
you
find
you know
it.
what are you trying to do here? What's going on?
yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. You're like you're strategic with your Instagram, but you're not strategic when it comes to the writing that you run in.
He's
Yeah.
pandering to one
fuck,
audience. He's
dude?
pandering
Yeah,
to
yeah,
one
that's it,
audience.
that's
That's
it.
literally all it is.
Yeah.
You know, come to Vasaki, he'll say Bole Sone Hal.
Yeah.
Right? He'll go to some
White pride.
some white pride, and go to some hood, start wearing saggy jeans, right? And some Jordans, right? And a cap to the side, right?
No, he did have a lot of supporters. He had a lot of great rallies, and it's good for him. And now it's time to now just come together as a country.
Yeah.
We have a future ahead with Mark Carney, whether you like it, whether you don't.
Exactly.
We're Canadians. We are nice to each other. We get along. And I'm not buying into this. Canada's not the same. Canada was always a land of immigration and a home to all different types of people. Being in Canada, it's time to unite and hold our MP accountable. Just because your MP is not conservative, you can write to your MP and you can demand something. And if you get enough of a crowd of people together, you can influence that person to, unless it's a radical policy, write to your MP, right?
MP and Premier.
But you know what? That's another thing about Punjabi politics. People get elected, and they can't even read letters properly. They're not educated. They have no sort of life experience, nothing at all, and they just get in because they're
Bob
popular.
Desange.
Bob Desange.
Hey, the GOAT. I love him.
Are you serious?
I love him because he's funny. I don't know, something. I've
Yeah,
seen him
but
on
this,
TV.
this guy's an
He used to be on
MP
TV.
now, though, bro.
No, he's not. He
no, no,
lost.
no, no,
No. He was
No,
on
no,
TV
he-
before Vision TV. He was on Vision TV all the time. That's how I know him from.
No, but he ran for the Conservatives.
Yeah, I know. I am Bob Desange. I like his energy.
No,
is
but
great.
how did he get selected?
I know nothing what
It
he
kind of
does.
proves
Oh,
your point, doesn't
No,
it? Like
that's
the
what
whole
it was.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah. There was no proper process.
vetting.
I just like him because I like his vibe, energy, and I like how he talks. Other than that, I don't know what he supports. I don't know what he runs for. I just like him as a person. He seems like a very great guy.
You love Joginder Basi too, right?
He's the man. Joginder Basi
Who's
is the
that?
guy,
Come on,
bro.
baby, don't say that.
Yeah. Come
Who's
on,
that?
man. What are you been living under a rock? Joginder Basi.
Maybe
Oh,
if I
God.
see the video, and I'll know. Whatever path we have for moving forward here, let's now just like we live in a free country, we have democracy. Let's be grateful for that. And when I walked in to do my vote, I put my fists up in the air with the two teenagers that were there.
Are you kidding me?
I'm like, freedom. They're looking at me like this guy's weird as hell. They're two brown kids too, and I was like, oh,
Why would you do
I'm
that?
like, are you guys from here? They're like, no, we're from Surrey.
Does someone have the
like, what the fuck they
CCTV
sent
footage
you?
of this? We need to see this.
I was just like, I felt so patriotic. I was like, this is the biggest election of my life, and I get the right. I have the right and the privilege to go and vote for someone, right? I actually researched my MP who has been liberal since the whole last decade, was reelected again, and I looked at all of his records. I was very happy with his voting record and the things I actually looked at. How many people actually looked up their conservative or liberal or NDP
No one does.
MP?
I didn't do that. shit.
Valerie Masuda, doctor that we talked to her, she was the one that made me think, because she's very big on right to your MP, and she's gotten a lot done working with the federal government, and she made me think, okay, well, let me figure. She knew her MP candidate pretty well, who she's voting for. Let me freaking do some research on the possible candidates. I looked at my area and I looked at my family's area where they live, and then I was like, there was like a guy running for conservative. I watched his video. I'm like, dude, you're nothing. We don't even know what you've done. You're hiding everything that you used to do, and now you're just running. You randomly are running. He served on city council or whatever, but it's like, can I trust you with my vote? That's a very big thing to vote for someone. It's a very
Especially in
a
this
big
one,
deal.
there's a lot of like tight, like 1%, like differences. Like it was very close in some ridings.
stop the hate. Canada's not about hate, and I'm very, very a proud Canadian. And I think in this time when we forgot a lot about what is Canada, what does Canada represent. Well, I'll tell you what it doesn't represent. Those comments on the conservative page and Pierre Poilievre post.
That
Clearly,
being said, I
that's
think
not
Raj
what-
is formally announcing it.
I'm going to be running for People's Party.
It's a democracy.
I don't need to know how to speak French. I don't think it matters that much, right?
No. The people, they don't care about that.
Oh my god. We should just end the podcast with us singing the whole anthem.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Limelight. We are not a political podcast. We do not want you to listen to our political views. Make your own informed decision. However, whatever we say is probably right.
If you like us or you hate us, that's fine.
Just joking.
Everyone has their own views. Everyone has their own upbringings. It's all good.
And by the way, you can't deport any of us. We were born here.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Deport.
We're getting in front of the comments before they come.
All right, cool. Thanks so much for tuning in this week, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. If you guys have any questions or ideas of what you'd like to hear us talk about, we have an anonymous box, and we also have a comment section where you can spread hate or love.
Or let us know if we should drop
Our
our
6
application
viewers.
off at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Maybe we will. But anyways.
And if you've made it this far, we'd love for you to subscribe, follow us on all our social platforms. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We recently just hit over 100,000 views, and Mindy started tearing up. It was a very emotional moment. He thought he would never get the fame.
100,000 views.
Yeah.
I like-
Yeah, no, it's honestly, it's really exciting, and some of the podcasts we've done recently have been some of the most meaningful. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.